Hi, my name is Spencer Owens, and I don't know who that is. My name is Spencer Owens, and sometimes in life you don't have the conversations you should. And I'm glad I got to sit down this weekend and have the conversations I did with my grandfather.
Yeah, so we're going to be discussing the meaning of life then.
And one of my best friends that I've ever made.
Want to see if my handshake's still good? That'd be pretty important to me.
Want to test her out?
What do you mean? Oh, we're shaking hands?
Enjoy. Thanks. What does it mean to be a good man, in your words?
To be a good man is to give something of yourself to others. And at the same time, have something that means something to you, has some values.
I think it's respect. If someone asks for help, just help them. You know, it's like pretty straightforward, I think, in that it doesn't take a lot. You don't have to be a great man in every moment. You just need to be a good man when the situation arises. It's more about your interactions with other people, more than it is how you are to yourself. You cannot be a good man if you don't respect the people around you, even if you don't like them. Because you don't have to like someone to treat them with respect.
Yeah. How did you construct this definition?
Well, I guess it's you look at people who you respect as a person, and then it's that's a manly guy. How? And it's for me, it's they're there when you need them to be. They respect you. They're not going to put you down because they can, you know what I mean?
I think it's just looking at yourself and at the same time looking at the rearview mirror behind you. And the role models are the people that you aspire to be. And that family value that just kind of continues, from grandparents or maybe great-grandparents. And everything wasn't perfect looking back at my parents' family. There were others in the family that had a hard time and struggled, and that's a value in itself. None of it was perfect.
Who was the man that either embodied and was embroiled in those values and that character, or was it someone who was just so opposite of that you knew there needed to be change?
Yeah, it just occurs to me it's almost like putting together a recipe. I think that's what makes us. We can just be plain. You just take one out of their shell and that's who they are.
Yeah.
Or you scramble it up and you've got an entire meal.
Right.
And so if you dissect that person or menu, I think most of us are more complicated than we think. And we kind of focus on certain things, certain values for our main character, but I think to get there takes a lot of parts. And all those parts come from different places, hence different people.
So, no, a man in my life did not embody that definition. So, yes, I did learn from the mistakes. And I also think that I created that definition based on how I judge myself. I've seen some mistakes, and I've kind of filled in the gaps of what was missing, and that's kind of how I came to that conclusion. So yeah, I guess I learned from someone's mistakes, because I never had that guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What challenges have I think you faced either in manhood or just growing up in general nowadays?
Well, I guess that's kind of hard to answer, right? Huh. That's a tough one.
Well, I like that question because like I think we talk about it on the phone. I think every week.
That's probably fair.
Like the biggest challenge I think of young adult life is like feeling like you're in a rut. And I don't want to answer for you, but
I think you helped me out because not just in a rut, because that is a good term, in a rush.
yeah,
I feel like I am in such a rush
No,
to just got a new job. I'm already like, where are we going from here? I
Yeah.
just started like 2 weeks ago. Like, I can calm down a little bit.
If you were to give advice to your younger self, what would you say?
Yeah, I think in anything we do, whether it's choices in life, I think you really just need to look at everything globally. You know, we're so easily caught up with what I want to do and what's on my checklist that you forget about, how it impacts everything else. Everything affects someone else to some degree, if not immediately, down the road. I think it's just paying attention and just embracing advice from elders. And I think it's when we get older we start to appreciate and want to hang around people because they have so much wisdom
Right.
that they can pass on.
What's your meaning to life?
I think and this is going to sound stupid, being happy is the most important thing that you can have in life. I think that like being comfortable with who you are, happy with your day-to-day routine, that to me is like what life is about. Because I remember when I was in college, I would say like, why even do this? So my kids can have a house outside of like a city, like in a good place. It's like that's what college is. Life is harder to answer than that.
Yeah.
But for me, my answer is to be happy.
I think going on when you say happy, I think when you say that it's more of just like being very content.
Sure. Yeah.
Because life has its highs and lows, but as long as you are content and enjoy your life and enjoy what you're doing, no matter what the work or who's surrounding you, just being at peace, I think is my meaning.
You got to be able to enjoy 4 out of the 7 days of the week.
My meaning to life is to do the best you can with the means that you have and make it better for yourself and for everyone around you. If you looked at that choice that you have and ask yourself, is it good for me? Is it good for others? And is it for the greater good? And just using that as a guideline, I think, can take you through almost any situation. Sometimes we get caught up in what we want and what we would like to do and what feels right for us. But, ultimately everything we do affects someone else in some way. And so if the answer is yes to most of those, I think you're, or whoever it is on the right path. You find people that have something that they love and they just keep doing that. Why stop that?
Yeah.
If you get up every day and you have a purpose and that drives you, you should be doing that.
Dude, my butt cheeks.
My cheeks are hurting. Oh, we hugging it out? We spot hugging? Spot hugging.
That was good.
I enjoyed that.
That was good.
It looks like it's very bright in here, but it's not. That work.
You have a very full face. It's a very light shadow. Light shadow.
I take that as a compliment.
Oh, I forget these questions. Can we start over from the beginning?
I gave Brett a hug after, so I'm giving you a hug.
And I'll take 2.
Thank you.
Thanks, Spencer. That was fun. Let's do it again sometime. And it's a wrap.
Hey, there it is.